while I was growing up, I never had the privilege of, discussing with my mom, what does vaginal discharge mean, what is going on down there, and all of those stuff. I was always of the opinion of I can't go to bed without anything on. I still can't do that. But hi family, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl BC Kobe. Alright, so if you're new here, you're welcome to all my OG family members. Thank you for joining in. So today we're going to be talking about taking care of your vaginal. Before I get right into the video, I'd like to share a little background of what led to me recording this video. I think it was about 2 years or 3 years ago now. I started noticing that, when I take off my underwear, it smells a bit funny. So I remember when I was back home, most times what we do is we get a kettle and fill it up with water, and it's usually close to the bathroom. So you get the kettle and you use it to rinse down there, and you put it, in fact you put on your underwear, you don't even pat to dry. So I was saying to myself, maybe I should actually try just rinsing down there at least 2 or 3 times a day. So I intentionally grabbed this bottle of mine. So this bottle, I used it after I had my son. If you did a vaginal delivery, you sometimes get this bottle from the hospital, but this one I got from Amazon. So I grabbed this bottle and I filled it up with water. And when I get back from work, I'll rinse down there. Maybe in the evening again, if I feel like it, I'll rinse down there and then pat it with a tissue paper to dry. So I started noticing I was smelling normal as it was before, and I was feeling good and refreshed. So I've decided to bring this on here and even share a little bit more. Let's get right into today's video. I'd like to first of all talk about vaginal discharge, because that's actually what leads to smell, and that's what can lead to infection, and that's what can lead to problems that you might have to go to the doctors for. Read from here what I have from Google, and I'm no expert on this. I'm just talking. You can give it a try as well. And most importantly, I'm doing this video to educate teenagers out there. While I was growing up, I never had the privilege of discussing with my mom, what does vaginal discharge mean? I don't think I was comfortable enough to really discuss about it. So I remember she gave us shaving cream to shave our pubic hair, but that was about it. So this is to my young girls out there, or even adults that you don't even know much about this stuff and it's not really talked about. So this is to every one of us to take to learn a thing or two. So you can also share with girls around you, anyone that you feel will benefit from this video. So basically, vaginal discharge is normal and helps keep the vagina clean and moist. Normal discharge is usually clear or white with a slightly musky odor. Changes in discharge, such as unusual color or odor, could be a sign of an infection or health issue. If concerned, then you can see the healthcare provider. Let's look at some of the things that we're going to be talking about today. So I have a list here. One is how to maintain good vaginal hygiene. Clean the vagina without causing irritation. We're talking about how to prevent vaginal infections such as yeast and bacterial infection. So those are the things we'll be looking at today, and some of the things that I have figured out personally that I feel works, and some of the things that we shouldn't do. So for the first one, talks about how to maintain good vaginal hygiene. So when we talk about good vaginal hygiene, first thing that comes to mind is how do you wash it? Do you wash it? So we actually don't wash the vagina itself. What we wash is the vulva. So that's the area around the vagina. So we have the first part, which has like the pubic hair. So that side that has the pubic hair, you can wash that part. Moving along from that part, if you move on to the first opening, I believe those are the labia minora and labia majora or majora. You're cleaning your vulva area, not your vagina. So basically that's what we're talking about. So whenever I'm saying you're cleaning your vagina area, just know I'm referring to your vulva and your pubic area. So that's literally what we mean. So now, like I said, I use water, but you can do your research if you want to use unscented soap. There are different options out there that you can use, but I just prefer to use water. That has worked for me over the years. So you don't want to clean forward. because if you think about it, your anus is close to, almost like it's not too far from your vagina opening. So if you're cleaning your poop forward, like if you're cleaning forward, you're literally passing poop inside the vagina, and that's not very good. That's not hygienic. So you want to make sure when you're cleaning, even when you pee, you want to make sure you're cleaning backwards. So you're cleaning this way, and then when you want to clean just the bum, you're also still cleaning back. I usually use this to just sprinkle down there, and then use my hand to rinse anywhere that needs to be rinsed, and then I use my tissue paper to just pat the place dry. Alright, I feel something I also missed out in regards to whether or not to use unscented products, unscented soap, or what is other products out there, is because your vagina has a pH. And one thing you want to avoid is disrupting the pH balance of your vagina. So now sometimes you can wash and there might be a little bit of soap here and there that could get into the vagina area, and you're able to quickly rinse it off and all. But doing that over time, I feel like sometimes can disrupt the vaginal pH. Hence why I just use water. And to be honest, or to be frank with you guys, it's been working really well for me. I smell fresh all the time. I don't have to worry. Like, I feel like for me as a person, when I don't smell fresh, I usually just can tell. Like, there are sometimes I'll just even fold up tissue paper if I'm in the public, like maybe the entire day. I'll fold up tissue paper and put a little water, and I avoid scrubbing, because if you're not careful, you could also sweep tissue paper into the vagina. So I usually just put a little water on the tissue and just try to clean. Remember, we're not cleaning the inside the vagina, we're cleaning the vulva. You're cleaning around the vagina, so just clean down there while I'm outside, and before you know it, you're feeling good already again. Those are the reasons why I don't use unscented product. But I mean, like I said, this is just my experience. You can always do your own research if you want to use soap. The other thing I would like to mention about good personal and good vaginal hygiene is shaving your pubic hair. Thanks to my mom, that's something that she actually showed to me earlier, and so how to also avoid bumps, because I feel that's another aspect that's not really talked about. So for me, I use a shaving cream. I don't like using shaving stick. It doesn't work for me. It gives me bumps and I don't like that. I've only used shaving stick once and I'm never going to use it again. So I usually use the shaving cream. There are different options out there, and I'm not promoting one over the other. I can just show you the one I use, but I'm not saying this is the best. You can try different options, see what works for you, and there are different types based on your type of hair. The one I'll be showing you now is the one I use. So give me 1 second, let me grab it. Right, so this is the one I use. It's called Ne or something like that, and this one is for coarse hair with moisturizers, protective grapeseed oil, and softening mallow. So this is what my mom introduced to me, and I've just fallen in love with this for a while now, and it's been really good for me. Although I hate the smell, I don't like the way it smells. One of the things that I try to avoid is, once you're done shaving, what leads to bumps is actually dry skin. So after you've shaved, I believe, even though sometimes they say they have moisturizer, they don't feel moisturized, and I know this place is not exposed throughout the day, so it should be moisturized, but I feel maybe I have my skin is a lot more dry. So after I'm done shaving, the first 2 or 3 days, I usually go in there with either bow oil or baby oil, just some sort of oil that is not too heavy, you know, that will just keep that place moisturized. If you don't have oil, you can always use your lotion as well, but don't put it, I just put it on the very front part, nowhere else. I know you have hair everywhere around the vagina and all, but I only put the oil just on the very front part of your pubic area. You just put it in the very front. You don't want to go past that. So I usually just do that, and your girl has no bump, zero bump. It's the same thing for my armpit. The only thing for my armpits is I use just a shaving cream. I don't need to add oil because my armpit doesn't feel dry. So I just put the shaving cream and then get my paper towel and sometimes maybe I have to wet it a little bit if the shaving cream is already dried off and it's still a little too long and longer than I should. I will get a little water and sprinkle it on the paper towel and just use it to wipe it. The same thing for down there, wipe it and then go in the shower, run your water, rinse and wash and all of those, which leads me to the next point. I was always of the opinion that I can't go to bed without anything on, but I still can't do that, but I always make sure that I take off my underwear. Don't sleep with the underwear that you've put on since morning, like literally all day long. You've had this underwear. If you rinse or wash, do whatever you want, please take off your underwear and rinse thoroughly. Like you're going to bed, you want to rinse very, very well. Like take your time, rinse it very well. Trust me, your vagina will thank you the next day and you feel absolutely fresh. You feel so good. When you're on your period, you want to try as much as you can to change regularly. I feel that was something that I was not aware of when I was growing up. I would just always, I was not a heavy flow person, so that's not very good. You want to try as much as you can to change your pad. I would say anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. Like if you went to work, let's say from 8 a.m. by 12, 9, 10, 11, 12 at most, you should be changing your pad. So try as much as you can to change as often as you can. And for me, I was never comfortable with tampons. For people that are using it and liking it and enjoying it, kudos to you guys. So you have the option of tampons and you have the option of pad. So I use pad. I love the ones from Walmart. They have different level. They have heavy, they have medium, they have light. So you can get the different version because based on where you are during your cycle, the flow changes. So for me, at the early stage, it's usually a lot more. So I'll say around medium, and then towards the end, it's usually light. And the other thing I also would recommend for ladies is pad liner. And in regards to that, I'll actually show some of the examples of some of the ones that I've used. I actually don't have the box of all the ones that I've used, but I have the box of what I'm using currently. So, and this works for if you're wearing thong. So this is the one I currently use at the moment, Carefree Thong. I got this from, I believe, Walmart or Shoppers. And this is what I was referring to in regards to which one you should get. So they are thongs, they are thin, they are regular, they are long and extra long. Another thing you would also notice that on those liners, that some of them are they are odorless, so they're almost like a mini pad. So it prevents it from smelling like having like odor throughout the day. I'm not saying this is the best, I'm just saying this is what I'm currently using. Like I said, I've used different options, but see what is out there, see what works for you. So that's very, very important. You can get that as well. So during the week, when you're not on your period, you can always use that. But if you notice that you don't have any vaginal discharge, you don't have to use it because that place needs to breathe as much as it can. So overall, understanding what is normal for your body and being aware of the changes that happen will help you maintain a good vaginal hygiene. So you know what to expect and you know what is not. And I think I should talk about yeast infection. There are different ways it can happen. So you can research like some of the symptoms that you can see. You can see soreness, you can see redness on the vulva, itchy, odor, like change of smell. You know, it varies for every woman, but you can always Google it if you're not sure. But if there's anything that you're unsure of, and this goes for me as well, I'm also trying to improve in this area, always refer to your family doctor and just make sure that you get out any assumption out of the way. It's better to ask them those questions and it's almost like, oh, there's nothing wrong with you, than to be unsure and then figure out something was actually wrong. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. That's the end of the video. I am so glad you guys joined me here. I hope you learned a thing or two. Friends and family, please just go ahead and share this video. I love you guys and I'll see you guys soon.